Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 48 of Let's Play Tyranny, where I'm beyond stumped at what the fuck we're doing here. So we're right now looking for a small, faint glimmer to denote that there is something that... There it is. We're looking for that. Another find! No matter how old that gets, the smell of found parchment never ceases to get me going. Almanac of Azure, 420 through 422. If grain yields turn you on, I have some steamy reading for you. Minutes from the ardent peace accord of 419. A snore even by my standards. What else? And there's, oh, back to Azure, the years 423 through 426, and, well, that's odd. He largely falls silent, absorbed in reading. May I take a look? See this page? Well, maybe don't bother with the whole thing, it's rather dense. But here's something fascinating. It's about House Veria and House Pelox having a two-span war over who owned some portion of what now is the southwestern Stone Sea. Notice something unusual? Captain Pelox turned to his troops, phalanx raised and raised high. Let us praise Queen Alanta for this bounty on our eve of battle. And though we slaughter 2 goats in her name, let us slaughter 3 in reverence of Graven Ash, Archon of War. Let us become that which we fear, invincible, indefatigable, indivisible. While numerous Tearsmen have claimed a lifelong fixation of Graven Ash, you have only ever heard the Tearsmen speak such things when they are bowed before you, desperate to evade execution or conscription. While it's possible that well-connected Tearsmen knew of the Archon prior to the war, a noble invoking his name in pre-battle speech is highly improbable. Yeah, so 2 tribes of Tearsmen have a fight and they invoke Graven Ash's name before they fight the fight. That seems an error. Exactly, that feud happened by many accounts, but the way it's described here, nonsense. Tearsmen call on Graven Ash for a favour before a battle. Come on now. That never would have happened. Some fools around here didn't even bother to learn the name of fearsome general waiting across the isthmus for aid. Can you tell when this was written? Was it penned back then, or is it more recent? Oh, a good question to ask. With a 12 of the hand, he produces a dry quill and scrapes the ink written alongside the chronicle margins. Men were flaking for dark umber ink, probably not more than a few years old. Not encouraging. It seems worth asking if possibly the chronicle is correct. Wait, no. The chronicle is supposed to be the accurate record of all things, right? Are you doubting the chronicle? Yes, and this is not the first of these chronicle fragments to have questionable details. There is, Latchy's voice falters. Fuck, what exactly am I reading here? Anything else particular about the text? Give it a good read. Whispering half-formed words under his breath, Lantry paused over the text, rapidly devouring pages of long, flowing handwriting. No, the rest of it is sound like things I've known to be true. Details that are news to me, but within the realms of believability. Strange. It's just this one passage that screams out at me. The rest seems like proper chronicle reporting. Let's look for more of these tomes. Maybe there's supporting information elsewhere. A wise point. Perhaps my knowledge is incomplete. Perhaps the other fragments have information that will explain or corroborate what's written here. I should not be so quick to assume I have all the facts. With the various scrolls tucked about his bandolier, Lantry feigns collapse under the burden, then steadies his balance with a smile.
We could continue scrounging the area, but considering the small mountain of parchment I'm carrying, I think we found all we're going to find.
Lantry runs his hand across one of the numerous chronicles in the volumes found in your search.
I wish Lexime had talked to me before going through with this nonsense.
She violated Kyros' law, and this is what, like, the only problem with Galeras. He is a mage at heart, and he does love text, like, he does like to learn, but he's still a disciplined assassin who does invoke the law. So she violated Kyros' law and endangered her friend. She invited her own demise.
I am not casting doubt on your decision, good fatebinder. I'm the one who needs to accept that she was ready to die. If I were stuck awake, knowing I violated my vows of veracity, I'd want to die too.
So is there no circumstance in which a creative edit would be justified? No. So you disagree with what she did?
Yes. Well, at first, yes. But I understand what she was attempting to accomplish. There are precious few who can read this chronicle, let alone find value in it. And they will have no appreciation for the historical accuracy. They might even view it as fiction. So, if a few lives can be saved, I guess I understand the logic.
So what now?
When next we're back at the Spire, I have a fine evening of inking, rebinding, and cataloging ahead of me. I can hardly wait. I will honor Lexime and suffer her modifications to the text. At least I know the true accounting. And the Uncensored Chronicles does sound like a book I should write before I die. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Ever onward.
Quest finished. Oh yes, I need to talk to Verse. That's what I need to do. No game. Stop.
Couldn't help but notice the bird from Cacophony.
Verse smirks as you approach, scrutinizing you with her mismatched gaze. The Arcanos Secrets is toying with us. With you in particular.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he does. I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. But seriously, you're not the Voice's favorite person in the tiers. This missive must be good.
Want to read it?
Maybe summarize it for me?
First glances at the Voice's wildly inconsistent lettering. You can't read.
It's never struck me as being the most useful fucking skill. Wanna make something of it?
She crosses her arms, but her cheeks flush. I could teach you.
Hey, it's not that I... Maybe after we're done opening people up, assuming we both survive?
He says someone's been bragging about your sisters. Know what he means by that?
Wait, what? He found one of the shits who killed my Furies? Let's pack up and go.
That's something else, these strange symbols on the back.
There's a lot to love about spycraft. The trickery, the blade work, keeping your senses awake, balancing on the edge between confusion and discovery. Memorizing the Archon's childish pictographs is not my favorite part.
She examines the parchment, frowning.
Malfora. She's one of Harshion's people. Bit boring, but gossipy in the way that pays. We should be able to find her along the road to Lethian's Crossing.
If you can read Neret's notations, I bet you take to writing rather quickly.
Just drop it. Ugh, I think I prefer your awkward stares to this friendly encouragement. The Voices gave us the passphrases that will get Malfora to open up to us. When we find her, let me do the talking and everything should run smooth as sea glass.
She rubs her hands together.
This will feel good, Finder. Wildly, incredibly, stupidly good.
The Archon's sudden interest in your revenge doesn't seem suspicious to you.
Are you asking me if I trust the Voices of Nerat? Archon of Secrets, Spy Master, Arcane Pillar of Green Smoke and Flame, Immortal Magician, Eater of Minds, and Connoisseur of Perversions? Of course not. But if it's some convoluted trap, I'll have your back and you'll have mine, right?
Alright, fuck it, let's go.
Lead the way.
Fuck it, never fucking simple, you people. Right, so I'm going to try and see if this will open now, seeing as I've done... Nope. Well, fuck this old walls, I'm leaving. I've got other quests to do, and I don't want to spend another full fucking part pissing about in here. Right, so we've got this is the main quest, and this is where we're going to go. Don't need to go to the Bastard City, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go to the Merchant Crossroads. We need to go to Leffian's Crossing anyway, because I need to go to my spire. Ah, sigil research has been completed. And there's someone called Melifora. Let's go loot her first. Let's see if we can loot her before we have to talk to her. Yeah. I'm not open for business, friend, and I'm not looking for trouble. Basilia and Leffian's Crossing expects me with this shipment shortly. Wouldn't want to keep her waiting. The merchant watches you warily as you approach, a heavy pack hanging from her shoulders. Soft and well fed, this one. But look at her stance. She can handle herself. First takes the woman in with a long appraising gaze. Excuse me, the merchant blinks. I'm going to glare silently. You must have mistaken me for someone else, I assure you. Oh, fine. The road to Star was paved in iron, Verse sighs. The farms of Azure are mostly air, she nods with relief. I'll say nothing. Yet their papers aren't aflame. Charming. Sorry about the formalities. If word got back to the voices that I was cutting corners on security. Let's just say I prefer my tongue in my mouth with my bowels in my, well, bowels, I guess. She shakes her head. You're the fatebinder of the Mountain Spire, correct? I'm Melifora. She opens her hands to you, palms out. I'm gonna glare silently. Right. She glances between the two of you before her eyes settle on Verse. The man you're interested in calls himself Crocus. No idea whether that's his mother's name. What his mother's named him. Showed up in the crossing a few months back, picking fights and looking for rings. He ran afoul of the garrison, and they stomped the pants gravy out of him. That quieted him down for a bit, but when they started casting around for work again, he boasted one of his victories against a band of fairies during the war. Not a smart thing to brag about. Very stupid, in fact. You'd think a story like that would scare off potential employers, but Asa has never been the brightest ring on the rope. She shakes her head. Who is Asa? A cloth dealer originally out of Azure, runs a circuit from crossing to the brothers down into the calmer edges of the Blade Grave. He hired Crocus and a few other last week, claiming he needed extra protection for his daughter. Why he brought his daughter to the crossing in the first place, Overlord only knows. Thoughts? Shit sticks. It's not going to be easy to find a caravan between here and the Blade Grave. Verse curls her lip below her uneven teeth. Lucky for you, I'm very good at what I do. Melifora smiles and produces a scroll from her bag. He usually goes to Stalwell by the way of the Ocean Spire, but he's cutting east to make time and avoid beasts. She wraps a knuckle on the thick black line. Your best bet is to wait for him there at Hunter's Respite. She points to a position on the south of Haven. I'm just going to glare silently. Oh, that's just the fatebinder for we appreciate the information. You know everything I know about this so-called Fury Slayer. If you have any other questions, you'll have to ask someone else. She bows informally at the waist. Hey, what's wrong with my way of saying thank you? It served me very well in the conquest. Then again, I'm an assassin. I mean, I'm not really the... I guess I'm not... Ah, for fuck. Encountering Leffian's Crossing, the path ahead winds through a patch of twisted oaks. Dry foliage crunches underfoot, and the hymns of insects score the day and night alike. The mingled accents of dill, wheat, and algae sour the air. Barely audible over the crunching of tree litter, you hear a creaking sound like tightening rope as the leaf-carpeted soil begins to shift around your feet. I'm going to leap for safety. Like a storm of whips, a half-dozen green tendrils erupt from the ground. They let out wildly at the air, and the two nearest manage to slap you against your thighs and calves, biting through your exposed flesh with fang-like thorns. You pull your limbs free and roll away from the fashioned vines. I'm going to search for a weakness. The vines continue to thrash, gasping wildly for you. Your vision blurs slightly, numbness seeping into your limbs. Your arms hang at your sides, heavy and awkward. In a flurry of motion, you spot an eye in the verdant storm, a central stalk standing among the lashing whips. I'm going to attack the central stalk. Your assault on the heart of the plant earned you a few more welts on the slashing thorns, but you managed to split the stalk down its center. Vicious sap oozes from the twitching creature. The tangy copper scent lurks in the air. The spasming vines thrash their last and then go limp. You collect some of the sap shavings from the vines. Certain things can be used of use in an apothecary. With sensations slowly return to your limbs, you continue towards your destination. So I've got lacerations now. Lovely. You're gonna have to do me some resting. And I still need to upgrade my fucking weapons. Ah, well. Right. Well, let's have a quick rest before we do anything. Talk to verse. You've carved out a real knack for yourself by breaking the Overlord's edict left and right. Whatever Tunon is paying you for your services, I say you're due for a raise. How does it feel? Not only have given voice to the Overlord's will, but you're breaking Kyros' magic left and right. I'm only serving the interests of the mission. Sticking to your priorities is a good way to stay alive, but I wonder if you should be more reckless. I never got anywhere by playing it safe. I'm here if you need me, but I don't have the mind for arcane wisdom. I'll do whatever I can to get our little gang through this war. And if it looks like your strength is flagging, I'll put you out of your misery and take control. Cheer up.
What do you need?
Okay, we're not going to go down that road again, because they don't seem to listen.
On it.
As you approach the bronze-clad caravan guards, they look up as one, leaving dice and rings on the ground as their hands move to the weapons. Who goes there? Actually, know what? Doesn't matter. Turn back the way you came, stranger. Our fingers get bloody with a quickness. I see some caravan guards, but not the caravan. Why are you over here? I just see how there's any of your business. He glanced over his shoulder towards the north and back to you. We're paid guards. We get paid to guard. We don't get peck where we guard, and we don't ask why, where. That made sense, right? His brow knits, and he looks to one of his fellows. The other guard shrugs. I understood perfectly. Of course you did, Bronze Brain. You have questions in need of answering. You speak to Crocus. Find him up the hill to the west. Bloody and quick it is then. Damnation! Blades out, lads and ladies. Don't let them through. He levels his blade at you. I can promise you this is going to hurt you way more than it's going to hurt me. And I'm okay with that. I don't know if it was obvious that I'm okay with that, but I am most certainly okay with this.
Not happening.
Oh shit, she actually can't get through. Well, that's fine. I can fix that.
Happening.
See? Fixed. And I leveled up, so let's give me some more strength. I have an unspent skill point. Could put some in leadership. Or I could give myself some power. Because these attacks do go well with what I'm doing. I'm gonna give myself cleave. And you know what? I don't really use this spell, Electric Bolt, anymore. So, and I'm actually gonna ditch Electric Bolt for cleave.
Can't do that.
Fuck, he moved out of the way. I must admit, this is why I prefer Pillars of Eternity's combat style, because it means that all of these are you just scroll over them and it makes the life a little bit easier. In a sense of I know what weapon, I know what shit I have and what I don't have. I don't have to fuck about figuring it out. Crocus, we want to kill you. There he is. A tall, thin man in bronze and leather scrutinizes your approach, hand on the hilt of his blade. That's far enough, stranger. Oi, Crocus, we've got company. His voice comes out low and low and rough, a tears accented growl. A massive man answers the lookout's cry, his approach marked by pronounced swagger. Crocus rests a massive axe on the one broad shoulder. His hair seems to have migrated largely from his scalp to his chin, and the veins at his temples stand out against his deeply tanned skin. I couldn't help but notice the ruckus down the hill. I assume you're responsible for that. Besides Cario here, I've got an entire squad behind me, experienced warriors all, so I'm left wondering, who the fuck are you? I'm fatebinder Galeris. More importantly, this is verse. And I'm about to adjudicate your head open. Justice for my Fury sisters, she grins hungrily. Oh, shit. To arms! To arms! The mercenary blinks rapidly as recollection sets in. Yeah, this is the problem. This is why you don't fucking gloat. Because gloating is normally followed by death.
Can't do that.
What the fuck am I doing? Right there. There we go. I mean, you guys can attack me all you want. It's not going to really bother me. It's just...
Sorry, can't.
Leave this way. Let's go. Oh shit, I'm nearly dead. There we go. Whoa, I've got a better idea. Oh, that was fucking close. I'm going to disappear over here.
Right.
Bye-bye. There we go. See, that was smart. Turon did not offer as much of a fight as I expected. I'm a little bit upset, to be honest. I expected more from him. I'm gonna kill you with magic because that just seems like the nice thing to do. And Lantry leveled up. Let's give him some more health. And let's give him grants additional spell slot. Fuck it, let's go for it. The Lantry now has more than, finally has more than me, which makes sense. Hold. Hold for the love of Kyros. He claps his chest, blood oozing between his fingers. Hold like you held when you and your friends killed my fucking sisters. For the love of Kyros, indeed. Her words escape her clenched teeth in a half-hissed breath. She slips a small knife from her boot, and in a flash of bronze opens a fallen man's cheek. Hold, please wait. I'm not proud of what I did back then. I'm a changed man, I swear it by the Overlord. I've got a wife now. She's asleep right over there. He points back towards the nearby tents and bedrolls. I earn an honest living by the damned axe. I protect licensed traders. Don't look at me. She's the one you've got to convince. He looks to Fury aside. Overlord, save me. Kyros in here, asshole. The only partner in this dance is me. Her boot comes down hard on his ankles, eliciting an audible snap. The sound dissipates into his scream. Overlord, help me. I never wanted to hurt anyone. It was my damn job. I swore an oath to the Apex Lord because I wanted a bed and food, not because I thought Kyros would ever come to the tears. He sobs. The oath didn't just dissolve when you armies passed the gate of judgment. I had to kill conscripted Tearsmen by the gang. And yes, I helped kill your friends. His head drops, a pink froth of sweat, mucus, and blood dripping from the tip of his nose. Not friends, asshole. Sisters. Sisters, then. It wasn't my idea. Cotorius had the location. Sick bastard wanted to cook them with his flames. Arissa, she wanted to hunt furies. Wanted a head on a pike that she could wave at her enemies before battle. I was just there following orders. You said Cotorius cooked people? I never actually saw him eat someone, but I'm sure he did. You could see it in his eyes when he looked at you, that hunger. He was a sage, so maybe that explains it. Overlord knows what those scroll fuckers do in their libraries. Certainly not cannibalism, and copulating with scrolls has been frowned upon for centuries. We took one of you alive, you know. What the fuck are you talking about? Her eyes widen. After you disappeared, we realized that one of your Furies was still alive. The big, bold one. Costurus took her. Never saw her after. He's silenced by Versa's fist. Liar! She punched him again. And again. Where is he now? I don't know. I swear by everything and everyone I'd tell if I knew. He probably died in the Edict of Fire. Served him right if so. If not, well, he deserves this treatment more than me. Where can we find Arissa? After that fatebinder killed the queen, Irissa's will to fight only intensified. The crazy bitch couldn't lay down her spear. Last I heard, she was down in the blade grave, joined up with those Star Wars shitheels, killing disfavored by the Overlord's endless storm. Here, he fumbles with a case at his side before opening a well-soiled parchment in blood-slick fingers. This was from her. She wanted me to come to find her and take up arms again. I didn't write back. I changed. I lived the Overlord. Praise Kyros. How do you want to play this verse? It's a delicious tragedy. I'll give you that. Let's write it in a suitably bloody ending. She fingers the edge of her small bronze knife. I've sworn loyalty to Kyros. Go hunt Irissa. Go kill Kyros. They're your true enemies. They're the ones who deserve your justice. He tries to punch himself away from Burst, but his heels skid uselessly, plowing furrows into the bloody muck. Don't worry, we will. Grasping his gore-matted beard, he jerks his chin upwards and places the knife against his exposed throat. Please. A bubble of pink mucus expands and contracts his left nostril. I'm just going to remain silent. That one's for the shrieking chief. She runs the blade into his eye, twisting it thoroughly and digging it deeper into his skull as he screams. He bucks and spasms wildly. Characteristically silent, Barak watches with crossed arms. Thanks, Fatebinder. She offers you a curt nod.
Irissa's next. Let's go find her.
She turns to you, but comes to a stop instead. She lets out a quiet sigh and looks back at you.
Seeking was special, you know.
Tell me about her.
Seeking was all dynamo. Short, with hair like moss on a stone and skin the color of the night sky. Laughed at everything, even insults.
She smiles wistfully.
She never stopped moving. If we camped, she paced the tents or palisades, always pushing us to get on.
She lets out a low chuckle.
Part of it was the gambling. People would stop taking her bets after a day or two. The first time she says she can put a javelin in an apple at 100 yards, a man puts rings down. The second time, he's willing to go double or nothing. The third, that's when he stops betting.
Say nothing.
Crazy thing about Seeking, it wasn't raw talent. She practiced that shit. The spear work and the javelins, practiced every hour she wasn't sleeping or on assignment. She'd thread the sky with 3 or 4 javelins and dance towards her foe with a spear longer than she was tall. She'd knock a soldier's feet out from under him and let the javelin pin him to the ground. That's her name. Her spears found their marks as if they sought them.
Go on.
Her name meant more than the spear play. Seeking always sought, always looked for new things, new experiences, new stories, new men, new bits of lore. In summer, she'd collect stinging insects, fill thin clay jars with them, and smash them against her foes. No fight was ever even for Seeking. You either got the drop, or you got dropped. Thanks. You know, for listening.
She shakes her head roughly, as if clearing the fog in it.
Let's go. This oath-breaking scumsack won't hunt herself.
So we're just going to, leave that person. Alright, fair enough. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in the next part, we'll continue on. See you guys then.